Okay, this is pretty exciting. Last week, we went to the Women's March on Washington with Lauren Jauregui of Fifth Harmony. Take a listen.
Okay, I am here in a random hotel with Lauren Jauregui.
Literally in the corner of somewhere.
We are in a we're literally sitting on the carpet in a hallway because you don't have a room, but we're just sitting here
Legit.
drinking a glass of wine together.
Hey.
And we just went to the Women's March on Washington, and we're both like glowing.
We're literally just talking back and forth about how amazing it was.
It's so good. Okay, for everyone who wasn't there, just like set the scene, like tell me like what you saw there.
Well, first of all, there were millions of people, just genuinely, there were over 1 million people present, men, women, and queer folk alike, like every single person, immigrants, races, genders, sexualities, just such a wide range of human beings all coming together for the exact same purpose, which was just love and acceptance and justice. And
Yep.
I thought that was just, I mean, the whole entire energy was so electrifying and so inspiring and so peaceful and so loving. Like everyone, just the way they were with each other, the amount of people there were, the amount of like bodies I saw in the streets. There was like this one guy that was doing like an interview / like broadcast during it, and he was talking to his counterpart, and he was literally like, it feels like they're just making carbon copies of people and just keep sending them out. Because it was like millions of people, like hundreds and thousands of people walking and marching in the name of our rights.
Yeah.
Which is so, for me, it just made me feel so like safe. It made me feel so empowered, and it made me feel so happy that I wasn't alone.
Yeah.
Because in my brain, I was alone. In my brain, I was like, how can nobody see this?
I know.
This is so unjust. This is fucked up. I can't believe the majority would think that this is okay.
I know.
And what was proven to me today was that the majority does not think it's okay.
It's
the
crazy.
majority marched against the regime without an ounce of negativity. Zero negativity.
I know. We were just talking before we like started recording. We were saying, like, you're walking through the crowd and you're just like, excuse me, sorry. Like nobody was mad. Everyone was so happy.
Nobody was
and it was
mad.
just like, oh god, it was so good.
Everyone was so
good.
empowered.
It really,
ready to help each other willingly and just there for each other. I sparked up so many conversations with random strangers.
Same.
Just because I liked their sign.
Yeah.
Or I liked what they were shouting.
Yeah.
Or I liked what they were, their presence and
Right.
their spirit. You know what I mean? It was just like, I met this one woman who was a mother and was with her son from Florida, actually. Literally, her son went to Ransom, which is a neighborhood school to mine.
You just attract Floridians.
It was crazy. We were literally in a line at like this place called Paul's, like getting paninis. Like, because we were super hungry, and they were right behind us, and we saw that their sign said like Florida United for something or other. And she was a teacher at Mass Academy, and she was just so powerful and so empowered, and she was just preaching to us, like with her son right there, who was right by her side, and it was just, oh my god, it was just so beautiful. I can go on forever.
I know. I wish
it was gnarly.
I wish that you could like see us right now. Like,
I know,
like your face is red. Like we're
I know, just overwhelmed with happiness. It's nuts.
Okay, who did you go to the march with?
I went with my best friend Natalia and her
Cool.
sister and her friend Andrea, and it was just the four of us. And her little Andrea as well. Like there were two Andreas.
There's
but
two
then,
Andreas.
But then the second Andrea had to leave because she had another commitment. But
Right.
the four of us literally were together the whole day. It was such a positive energy. We had so much fun and so much like. We were just so happy.
Yeah.
Like we kept looking at each other with these dumbass smiles on our face, like, oh my god, I can't believe this is real. Wow, this is electrifying. Wow, this is so special. I can't believe we're here.
It's like a kid at a candy store.
It was literally
I felt like the same way though. Like honestly, like I think everyone felt really, really scared. Not everyone, obviously.
No,
but, like,
and
after
then
the
the
election.
whole era about even going to the march, like so many people were apprehensive that there was going to be violence, and so many people were apprehensive that the police were going to be super resistant and all that kind of stuff, and there was none of that.
No.
I didn't see an ounce of that, and there were more people there than there were at the inauguration.
Yeah, I didn't see any pushing. I didn't see anything.
No shoving, no pushing,
no cops,
no confrontation, no verbal confrontation, no nothing. Like just genuinely nothing. Like I just saw nothing but pure love and positivity.
I had some Uber drivers ask me like, do you think it's going to be like violent? And I was like, honestly, no. This was like before I was like,
and I didn't even think so.
No, I was like, everyone's in such high spirits. I knew in my heart
that like everyone that was coming together today, there's no way that there could be violence, because that's the exact thing we're protesting.
I know.
That's the exact thing that we refute and we refuse and we resist. That it's that violence and that hatred and that bigotry. Like we're not part of that.
Yeah.
We're the resistance. We are the opposite, and we're the opposing voice. And it was just so exhilarating to see how many of those voices came together. Like it was just nuts.
Can you tell us why you marched? If you could even sum it up.
Oh my God. For so many reasons. I'm a Cuban American bisexual woman.
Right.
So at the end of the day, like I was all of the things that were being resisted.
Right.
I've marched for reproductive health. I marched for the LGBTQ community. Like I marched for myself. I marched for my family. I marched for my friends. I marched for women in general. Like I just feel like there's such a power to our voice and such a power within ourselves that we have yet to fully reach the potential of. And I just thought it was so important. Like I literally flew out here. I knew there was something going on in LA, but I knew that I wanted to be at the Capitol because this was a historic moment that I needed to be a part of, because I'm so incredibly passionate about every single one. I marched for Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
I marched for the sake of people understanding that their rights are important and that they're valuable and that they're valuable, and no matter who you are or where you come from or what gender, race, religion, whatever the fuck label you put on yourself or they've put on you, you matter and your voice is important, and you are an American citizen regardless of whether they want to acknowledge you or not. Like we are here and we're American and we're ready to fight for our land.
So true.
Because those are the values that founded this place. Like on Lady Liberty's thing, it's literally just all about inviting immigrants and understanding that they're the base of this country.
Yeah, it's really crazy, and I thought it was really comforting to see. Was this your first ever march or protest?
Yes, it was indeed.
I think it was a lot of people's.
Yeah, it was my first time actually getting to the streets and being able to, oh my God, I literally can't explain like the amount of joy I feel in my heart. Being able to be a part of such a major point in history. Like this is, like when we look back, I know for a fact that this is going to be talked about. Like it was global. It wasn't even just national. It wasn't even just all around the United States that it happened. It was global.
I know.
There were people in Germany, in Paris, in London,
Did you hear Antarctica? Yes. I heard there were 25 women in Antarctica that marched.
But that's insane. Like the fact that there's people all over the world that recognize the injustice that's going on here. Even though, granted, we are blessed with the amount of rights we get, but there's so many that are infringed upon. You know what I'm saying? So anyone that kind of has this concept of, we should be grateful because we're so blessed, and it's like, yes, but at the same time, like we have to recognize when our rights are being infringed upon, and we have to recognize that we live in a free country. That's what our Constitution grants us, and we have to fight for that.
Yeah, you're like hyping me up. I'm like, let's go back out there.
I'm down as fuck. Let's go. Let's fucking go. I'm down.
Okay, one more glass of wine. We're hitting the streets.
Honestly, I'm fucking down. Like, we can just go out there right after this.
My cab on the way here was just like, there's still people in the streets, like enough. And I was like, shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up. I'm getting out.
Our cab on the way was so down with us. He was like, power to the women.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, bro.
Yes.
So proud of you. So I'm gonna swell in, dude.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
Okay.
It was just exhilarating.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Okay, so you're obviously you've been super busy lately. Did you have to cancel anything to come here? Because you said you were I could have stayed in LA.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't have to cancel anything, thank God, because I warned everyone very previously. I was like,
I'm going.
Just so you know, January 20th, I'm gonna be around the inauguration. I didn't know that the Women's March was happening when I told them that. But I was just like, just so you know, I'm going to be there to protest. So
before there was a march, you're like, I'm there.
I'm there and protesting. I literally told them in November. And I was like, January 20th, I will not be around you. So don't schedule anything because I will not be present.
So Lauren, relax.
Legit. Everyone's like, Lauren, stop. I'm like, sorry, bitch. I got to stand up. I just have to. I have no capacity to shut up in me. I just don't.
What do you think your plans are moving forward? Do you have any plans activist wise?
Activist, I mean, I'm gonna call my senator every single day like Mike told me to. I'm gonna be calling my senator every single day. I'm gonna be calling Congress every single day, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm involved in whatever rallies are happening, whatever protests are happening, like that are genuinely like important and vital to the progression of this movement. I'm gonna be there just because I believe so wholeheartedly in the message, and I believe so wholeheartedly in the American people, and the fact that that wasn't like Trump's vision is not the majority.
Yeah.
It's just not.
It's
like
not.
It was proven today. It's just not the majority.
It's crazy. It's, you know, I think it's cool for people to actually visually
Oh,
see.
and I genuinely want to work with Planned Parenthood. So y'all hit me up.
Yo, she gets close to the mic. Hey, yo,
Hey, yo, Planned Parenthood, hit
it's
me
me,
up.
Lord.
Seriously, I'm obsessed with, like, when Cecile Richards spoke.
Yeah.
She's the head of Planned Parenthood. She was so inspiring and so real.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just real. Like, the fact that Viagra is covered by health insurance and, like, women's health isn't, like, that just speaks volumes to me about the state of our consciousness.
Yeah.
Social consciousness.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked up. And one of my favorite parts about today was how many men were present and outspoken and with their signs and right beside their women or their mothers or their daughters, and like, I saw this one dad holding his daughters on his shoulder, and she was 5 years old, and she had her fist up in the air with her braids.
I'm gonna cry.
It
I
was
cried
just,
so
I took
much
a picture.
today.
I took a picture. I brought a film camera.
We were both, well, that was
Legit,
another thing.
a little Kodak camera.
That's another thing we were just talking about.
Took
Is
mad pics.
you brought a Kodak, I brought a Polaroid.
Polaroid.
So I was like, I need some hard
We're like,
copies.
we need some old school shit. We need some old school
So
shit.
funny.
Fuck this digital shit.
Fuck this digital shit. What do you think scares you the most about the Trump presidency?
I think, the ignorance that is surrounding it, the fact that you can deny climate change, the fact that you can deny people their basic human rights, the fact that you can deny that women deserve health care. I think all of those things are just ignorant. Like, if you know anything or have educated yourself or have read a single thing ever published by a scientist, you know that climate change is real and it's happening, and it's a huge imminent threat to the human race. It's what's causing so much of our health issues and so much of our environmental issues. And I mean, that's just a reality. I personally cannot respect anything that infringes upon reality. Or denies reality.
Just facts.
Just facts.
Yeah.
Just straight up facts that are proven and that are there and that are real. And if you can sit there and call it a hoax, a Chinese hoax, then you just have absolutely no business being a president, period. Right. But on top of that, all his choices for cabinet have been so disappointing and so disheartening, I think, because he's made very clear choices against progression. And that, to me, is an insult to our existence, because humans evolve. That's what we've been doing since the beginning of time. And so any step right now is, I feel, a step backwards towards, like, this whole Make America Great Again. It was never great to begin with. We've always had to continue to progress and make it better. And that's been the case since it was founded, you know? And it was founded by immigrants, you dumbass.
I love when you get close to the mic.
I'm talking to you.
Yo.
I'm talking to you.
Do you think that you would still be doing this if you didn't have a platform to do it?
Absolutely. Without a doubt in my mind or heart. Like, I know for a fact that the only reason I was even given this platform by God was because, like, this is what I was made for. Like, I was made to be an activist and to preach. Yeah. I'm so passionate about human rights. To be completely honest, I feel like I'm even more passionate about that than music sometimes, which is such a statement, because music is my soul. So I feel like I was blessed with this platform for the sake of being able to speak out and to stand up for anyone who needs a voice. Yeah. I was given a voice since I was little. I've always been so outspoken, and so, you know, like, I would always be told, like, you're too honest, like, you're too much, you're too black and white. And I was just like, fuck it, like, yeah, I'm black and white, because there's black and white. There's grayness, of course, but when it comes down to it, right and wrong is black and white. There's no, like, I will respect your opinion as long as you're educated and as long as you know what you're talking about and your opinion doesn't infringe on the rights of other human beings.
Right.
Because if your opinion infringes on the rights of human beings, it doesn't deserve respect.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. No. Like, if you don't respect other people's existence, how can you possibly expect for someone to respect your opinion?
Paul Ryan.
Fuck you.
Dude, I just want to say, like, from point of view as a person, but also a friend, like, I am so proud of you. Like, I
Thanks.
just feel like you've had like such a crazy year. I mean, like your Billboard article like made me cry. I showed it to my mom.
Thank you so much.
And it's just
I
like,
wrote that literally in 30 minutes because I
know you
was so
did.
pissed
I know.
about who Trump elected as the secretary, the attorney general. I'm so sorry. Like, I saw that he elected a racist senator, and I was so aggravated. I was like,
Jeff
if you look at my
Sessions.
phone, it was a note in my phone that my lawyers had to like take ... out of and like fucking capitalize shit and be like, Lauren, maybe you can't say that word, like, you know?
The whole thing was just like, fuck this, fuck that.
No, actually, like, they literally only changed like 2 words in it.
No,
but
it was like really well written.
Thank
I
you.
literally, I remember it came out and I was like, I sent it to my mom and I was like, Mom, read this.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Thank you, man.
But yeah,
appreciate
it's just been, I think you've been like doing great things this year and I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. It's just what I'm passionate about, and I thank God I was blessed with really strong women in my life. My mom and my grandmother are both really education driven and they've always instilled in me that I was powerful and that I could do anything, no matter what I had between my legs. Like, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was, and my dad too, actually. My dad never made me feel inferior.
I love him.
He never made me feel like I couldn't do something because I was a woman.
Yeah.
Regardless of his views, regardless of anything, like, his heart always supported me, no matter what I wanted to do. And that, for me, is so special, and so many people don't have that, and I'm so grateful that I was given that.
Yeah.
On top of my education I have to shout out Carrollton, because I am so grateful for that school. Like, oh my God, Carrollton School of Sacred Heart in Miami, Florida. You guys
What's up?
are my saving grace. I will never forget the education that I received or the instillment of power that I received, because we had a head nun whose name was Sister Cook, and she was just so powerful, so elegant, and so graceful and poised, and she constantly told us, you are women of courage and confidence, and don't let anyone take that away from you. And that's what we were taught. And I'm so, like, beyond grateful. It brings me to tears, like, for being given the opportunity by life to be able to go to something like that. Because, I mean, I come from a middle-class family, and I shouldn't have been there to begin with. But I was, because God wanted me there. So I'm grateful.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad we got to do this. This was fun.
Thanks.
Yay.
I'm glad you had me and liked me enough.
No,
to
thank
have
you
me.
so much for being on our show. This is like the first episode. We're really excited.
Yes.
You can buy Lauren's song, your own song, right?
I have my own song, dude.
So dope.
So dope. I fucking love Marion Hill, so it's cool.
It's really cool.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Lauren.